In the last episode... No, not that part.
So tune in next time as we pour more money into my poor financial decisions and fix some issues like, guys, it's leaking from the transmission, but it's pretty... Holy sh**, that's a lot of gear oil.
Well, I'm here to assure you that we here at the Jared Z channel have been working our absolute hardest on this MR2 to get this video out to you in a timely manner. You see, we take pride in the quality of work that we do, as well as how focused we are on getting things done. So with that, you would assume that by now we absolutely have this video ready to go. Well, there's been some minor delays in the filming of it, but we are getting around to it. You know, life gets in the way of things, and you end up having to put things on the back burner.
Alright, fine, I'll actually do some work on this thing. But before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you all so much for all the great support on the last video. Your kind words, it really meant a lot to me, and it actually meant that we were able to secure our first channel sponsor. So everyone, big thank you to today's video sponsor, Jerkmate. One of the most pressing issues on this car is a serious leak from the transmission, so let's get under the car and see what that looks like. All right, get under the car. Get under the car. Get under the car. Welcome everyone to the position that I seem to be in most weekends these days. You see, while most people my age are out, partying or spending time with their family, I would rather be, I have no choice other than to be under a 20-year-old Japanese piece of shit. So the transmission. I think to say it's leaking would probably be the understatement of the century. So let's play a little game, everyone. Where do you think the transmission is leaking from? Is it here, or is it the giant open hole in the back of the transmission? I went out on a rather spirited drive with some friends the other week. When we got to our destination, I got out of the car feeling good, feeling great, and then noticed that I immediately smelled gear oil. Upon getting under the car to see that I was literally dripping gear oil, I immediately stuck a camera up the backside of my car's transmission to see that giant hole in my transmission. There was a hole there because this plug had popped out. Now, to get into the details of what this plug actually does, it plugs that hole in the transmission. Plug! Alright, now without getting into a complete yap fest about it, this engine and transmission came out of a car that was front engine and front wheel drive. That meaning that it's in your standard layout there up front. With that, the shifter cables that actually run from your shift knob to the transmission went forward. And that meant that the shifter cables went in where that hole is, where the shifter shaft originally was. This car is obviously mid-engine and rear-wheel drive, that meaning it is in the back of the car. So with that, the cables now run from the car cabin to the back side of the transmission. Now that's one of the only somewhat tricky parts of the swap, is that you need to then pop out the shifter shaft that comes stock in the transmission from that hole, and then relocate it to the other side so your stock shifter cables reach it. With that, you end up with a giant hole in the back of the transmission. But this plug from Monkey Wrench Racing blocks it off. So there we go, problem solved, right? Just put a new plug in the transmission and we're good to go. Of course not, because if you remember that I said that I immediately got out of the car after smelling gear oil and stuck my phone's camera up the car's ass to see if it was leaking from that very place. But what made me think to check that specific location so quick? Maybe it's the fact that I had this issue happen before. It was a really long time ago though, wasn't it? Yeah, it was about 2 months ago, wasn't it?
With that, I made sure that I followed Monkey Wrench Racing's only instructions that they provided with this kit and bottomed out the plug back into the transmission.
Holy this thing's leaking so bad. All right, there we go. We heard that bottom out. So I will check back in with you guys in about 2 months when this plug pops out again and I have to replace it. The next pressing issue is that the bearing in my tensioner pulley has failed and it makes a really bad metallic grinding noise on cold start. Take a listen. I don't have a second person, so I'm gonna put a jack handle under the tensioner and jack it up.
Professional method now in use, I did as I said and put the jack handle under the tensioner pulley. At this point I took the dry belt off, and now you can actually hear what the messed up tensioner pulley bearing sounds like.
That sounds awful. Now I'm not sure how well you can see this, but basically down there on the tensioner you can probably see that that is not a standard bolt. Next to it you got your regular 17mm. This is a Toyota proprietary bolt that they use for their belt tensioners, which means that you need to buy this a $9 belt tensioner socket that will only ever be used just for that. Otherwise, you are almost guaranteed going to strip that pulley bolt and never be able to get it off. Why, Toyota? Now, for once, I actually seem to have the tool that is properly made for this job. You can see that the belt tensioner is all the way down there, almost level with the frame rail for this car. Now, that made me shit my pants a little bit, because if I take this socket and put it on the belt tensioner, you can see that that is extremely close to the frame rail. This is also a 1/2 inch drive, so when I took my 1/2 inch ratchet and stuck it down there, now you don't need to be a rocket scientist to see that that ain't gonna work. Thankfully though, I got saved by the gods, because if you look at the outside of the socket, it is a 21mm. That meaning that I'm able to just get a wrench on it and break it loose that way. I thought I was about to have to pull the entire belt tensioner assembly off, which is equally as hard to get off in an MR2 because everything is just so right up against everything. It's never a good time working on this car.
What even I didn't see coming, however, was how rust welded this pulley would be onto the bracket. What followed was a solid 30-minute long fight with it, involving different hammers, pry bars, and even giving it some back shots. You could see me getting on the bottom right now to do that. However, I eventually had to cut the camera and hit it with more drastic measures than that.
Alright, small apology. I know I hate when people cut videos right when they're actually doing something, but I needed the space with no camera in front of me to get this off. I did eventually get it off. I think I actually kind of broke it a little bit, because you can see that there's some threads in here, and down there looks like it would be more of this, and that this broke off. It's not completely flat, but I put a bolt on that and it does thread in, so in case you guys needed any idea of what had to go on to get this out, these are the items next to me. I love New England.
Thankfully, after putting up such a fight getting the old pulley out, getting the new one in was super easy. I just simply fed the bolt into my now broken tensioner bracket and continued with the job as I normally would. You see, having worked on cars for so long means that I now simply have every tool at my disposal in my home garage to ensure that every job gets done to the highest standard, even above a Toyota dealership. You can see here that I now go to torque down the bolt, and I take my new dealer level torque wrench and torque the bolt down. You see, guys, that was the torque spec. That was the job now professionally done and the belt put back on. It's time to cold start the car again and see if you can hear the difference, as if you could hear it the first time around.
All right, let's hear this thing on its first cold start. Oh my god, guys, it sounds so good.
The last issue I wanted to take care of on this car today isn't a super pressing one at this time, but it's something that I've been putting off for a bit of time and I've had the part on hand, so why not just knock it out while it's already up on stands. That is the easy job of replacing the sway bar and links on the rear of this car. Now, if you haven't done any really big mechanical jobs on a car before, this is a great starting point because it really is as simple as undoing two 14mm nuts, pulling the old part out, and swapping it out for a new one. You can see here that I got myself a high quality new part from Moog. Mog? I reinstall it into the sway bar in the second hole, as that's where I found makes my car handle best. It's an adjustable sway bar, so I can pick which hole it goes into. I found that the second hole is where the car is most planted. I tighten down those same top and bottom 14mm nuts, and then I'm able to move on to the other side where I tackle the same exact thing. Take off that top 14mm nut, take off the bottom 14mm nut, then pull out my brand new high quality part from Moog. I then reinstall those same top and bottom 14mm nuts, and there we go. That's a super quick fix taken care of. Now, I don't know if some of you caught it, but I'm actually not entirely done with this job yet because I have one thing left to do. Refill the transmission since it was leaking.
Yeah, you know what? That's level enough.
I then went ahead and got my drain pan underneath the car before getting a 17mm socket on my ratchet to break the fill plug loose. I have to do this as this transmission does not have a dipstick, and I need to know how much transmission fluid is actually still left in it before I overfill it. I then pull the plug out, only before seeing that, it's still full. Huh. So, let's just put the fill plug back in, I guess.
Now here's the truth, everyone. There's actually still quite a few things I have to do on this car, like fix a terribly leaky exhaust, but having done that job before and knowing that it's a bumper off job, I really just can't be to do that right now. Oil leak from the valve cover. Oh my God! And even a full brake service again after 10,000 miles because this thing pulls pretty bad to the right under hard braking. I'm gonna just keep it real with you all for a second. That shit's getting pushed off. You see, I got another pile of Japanese, we'll say greatness down the street that I've got to start working on again soon, and it is, it's worse. Oh. Thank you all so much for watching, and don't worry guys, this car's gonna get finished off camera.